And Ryan back with you. The Lakers just added some toughness, and they got smart. Marcus Smart, the Wizards guard, bought out his contract with the team, plans to sign a 2-year deal to go to the Lakers. That according to Shams Charania. Smart has a player option after the first year, which would allow him to enter free agency at that time. He's the former Defensive Player of the Year, but has managed to play in just 54 games over the last 2 seasons because of injury.
If you're keeping up with all the movement in the NBA, we've got another one for you. Marcus Smart has agreed to a contract buyout with the Wizards, now planning to sign a 2-year, $11 million deal with the LA Lakers. Smart was the 2022 Defensive Player of the Year, 3-time All-Defense first team. His last years, he's battled a lot of injuries, 3D, but what do we think about him with obviously Luka, with LeBron James, some of their new pieces next year?
Well, I like the last part, how you set it up, Ash, that defensively, I think it fits right away. My question is, these last couple of years been injury prone a little bit, so how does the body hold up? Because they're going to need his defensive mindset to set the tone each night. And offensively, yes, he's not a percentage-wise a big-time three-point percentage guy, but he makes timely three-point shots. And we all know the ball's going to be in Luka and LeBron's hands most of the time. So can you make weak side of the floor, when they swing the basketball, can you knock down open shots? If you can do that and stay healthy, I like the move.
People saw what he was able to do, obviously, with the Celtics and all those postseasons for so many years. So hopefully he's able to get kind of back to that caliber, battling those injuries these last 2 seasons. So we'll see how he fits with.
Breaking news, the Lakers are signing Marcus Smart. This is the signing the Lakers have been waiting for, to see if he would get bought out by the Washington Wizards, and it is happening. According to Shams Charania, Marcus Smart getting bought out by the Washington Wizards and will sign a 2-year, $11 million contract with your Los Angeles Lakers. Now, there is a player option on the second year of that deal. That's what Shams Charania is reporting. And I'd also like to note that this is biannual exception level money. As we speak right now, the Lakers do not have access to this money. I asked about this very thing, the biannual exception, just the other day, and was told that they do have a path to get there. So what that path looks like will be something worth keeping an eye on. The obvious thing would be waiving, as we've talked about, we've been expecting that they will waive Shake Milton, who has $3 million non-guaranteed sitting on their books. But the easiest path to getting there would be waiving Shake Milton and Jordan Goodwin. And I would be, frankly, a little bit surprised if they waived Jordan Goodwin, but just $25,000 guaranteed. That's an incredibly light guarantee there for Goodwin. But that would get the Lakers there to that biannual exception money that they need. After waiving Shake Milton, there'd be $3.9 million below that first-tier apron, which they are hard capped at. And then you add in, if they were to waive Jordan Goodwin as well, that would create enough flexibility to give Marcus Smart the full $5.1 million biannual exception. So the bottom line, though, what that means is that functionally other things have to happen for the Lakers to have to do this. But once again, I was told very specifically the other day that the Lakers, they know they have access to it. Whether that means waiving Goodwin as well, or perhaps a trade or something like that could be coming here. But the bottom line, the Lakers do get a perimeter defensive piece in Marcus Smart. There was an understanding on the team that they needed more help defensively, and that is exactly what they're going to get here with Smart. The former Defensive Player of the Year, a veteran. Is he somebody that is going to absolutely transform your entire defense by himself? No, probably not. But you know what I like? What I do like about this is, we talk about it all the time, you need those guys that have that dog in them. That's Marcus Smart, right? Like, he's got that attitude that's going to get out there and fight, and he's going to lock in on the defensive side of the ball. It can be contagious. And so I think this is a really nice addition for your Los Angeles Lakers to pick up a player like Marcus Smart. I'm going to be taking your questions and comments in just a moment. Again, former Defensive Player of the Year, Marcus Smart, the Lakers clearly needing perimeter defense, and he's somebody that can help there. The question with him, as always, is the three-point shooting. Can he knock down the three ball or not? By the way, one thing to consider is if they do ultimately move on from, let's say it is Jordan Goodwin, maybe there's a trade, something like that. There are a few other defensive pieces here. Let's throw up some Marcus Smart highlights here while we're at it. There are a few other defensive players that are still out there on the market as well. Ben Simmons is still out there, Josh Okogie. So could the Lakers significantly transform their defense with a couple of moves here? And the other thing to consider, and that we got to think about here, is for as much as we've talked about the Lakers not making moves, we've talked about the Lakers, how they need to do stuff in order to round out this roster, how this roster is not quite good enough. Look at what they've done this offseason. I think you add this on top of what they've already done this offseason, and it makes it pretty impressive. Think about it. And I'm not saying they're suddenly a contender in the West. They're coming out of the West easy, no problem. But think about what they've done. They were, I believe, the only team to move up in the second round to grab Adu Thiero on purely cash. No future assets given up whatsoever. They got Jake LaRavia. There were several other Western Conference teams that wanted him, and they got that done. They got DeAndre Ayton, who I thought was, of the bigs that were realistically available, the best out there on the market without having to give up any future assets. And now you pick up Marcus Smart, a former Defensive Player of the Year, again, without having to give up future assets. Now, again, that's not me saying the Lakers won this summer. That's not me saying the Lakers have had this absurdly great offseason or something like that. Just saying some of the moves they've made have been pretty good. And I think they deserve some credit for the things that they've managed to get done, and keeping in mind that they still have all of their draft capital that they had to start the summer. They still have all of their trade chips available. That, I think, is really the bottom line here. So, yeah, this was a pretty good addition here for the Lakers, bringing in Marcus Smart. All right, let me get some of your questions and some of your comments coming in. Ghost said, smart move for the Lakers. I'll show myself out. Yeah, look, I will admit I made the same pun on X, so don't even feel bad. Don't even feel bad. Don't feel bad. Muhammad said, Trev, I may have misunderstood, but last video, didn't you say the Lakers have a plan to free up the biannual exception? Yes, they do. I've been told very specifically they have a plan to free up the biannual exception. Now, they have a path to doing that. The simple version is just waiving Shake Milton and Jordan Goodwin. That would get it done. That's the simple version. The other way to do it, if they don't want to part with Jordan Goodwin, and Goodwin I thought was legitimately good for the Lakers for parts last season. So, you know, they made a move last season in order to bring Goodwin up to a full roster spot because they wanted to have access to him for the playoffs. So while that's maybe the easy functional move to make in order to go get Marcus Smart and open up the full biannual exception, I do wonder if maybe there's a trade or something else that they have worked out in order to make this happen with Marcus Smart. Again, nothing that I can say is confirmed. All I know is that there is confidence from within the Lakers that they have a path to freeing that up. Let me double check. Shams just put out an article on it. Let me see if there's anything in there. Here it is. In fact, let's go through this together. Why not? Let's go through this article together real quick because there's some interesting stuff here. So Marcus Smart agreed to a contract buyout with the Wizards, 2-year, $11 million deal with the Lakers. Smart, the 2022 DPOY, 3-time all-defense first team, will have a player option on his deal. Lakers all-star. Look at Luka, everybody. Look at Luka recruiting. Lakers all-star Luka Doncic reached out to Smart and made it clear that he wanted to play with a two-way stalwart. Hey, you know what? Let's pause for a moment there. Luka's not going anywhere. Right? If there was any, and by the way, I don't think there was any concern about this, certainly not from within the Lakers. I haven't heard any concern about Luka Doncic, but you're sure as hell not recruiting guys to come to your team if you're planning on not signing that extension, right? Get what I'm saying? If you're Luka Doncic and you're recruiting guys to come to LA, you're going to sign that extension. Yeah, I think this is the, I don't want to say the icing on the cake or whatever, but this is the nail in the coffin, I suppose. Let's go with that. to the idea that Luka is not going to stay with the Lakers. There's no way that you're going and actively recruiting veteran players like Marcus Smart if you're not planning on sticking in LA yourself. Great news right there. That's great to see. All right. The planned move serves, by the way, planned move because it cannot officially happen until Marcus Smart clears waivers. He will clear waivers. Planned move serves as a return to the
Rồi tiếp theo mình sẽ gấp phần bên dưới này của nó lên đây. Xong rồi mình lại đặt nó vào đây này. Và các bạn sẽ gấp nó lên phần giữa như thế này. Mình sẽ gấp cái phần đầu nhỏ của nó lên đây. Rồi các bạn sẽ gấp phần này lên đây cho mình. Rồi mình sẽ gấp lại cái phần này của nó ra đây nhé. Mình sẽ gấp cả hai